So good evening, all of you. Welcome to the live session of the NPTEL course. So we are almost coming to the end of this course. We are moving on to the last few weeks. And I'm sure that by this time, students have already started seriously preparing for the final exam. I'm sure you are doing well with the weekly assignments. We don't have much of a live questions that has been coming, but there are questions that has been already flagged in the forum. So we will take it up one by one and then go forward for it. So there is a question that has been asked, like when you are working with a non-blocking cache and when you are trying to prefetch an instruction, if it is an L1 miss from L1 cache, we send it to L2 cache, but in the meantime, we can fetch another instruction from the cache. How can we process the other instruction at the prefetch state when the previous instruction is still waiting for the data? So this is a classical case of when you have an instruction that you need to bring, and that particular instruction encountered an L1 cache miss, and whose processing is going on. In the meantime, can you prefetch another one? So as long as the second one is not dependent on the first one, if they are mutually exclusive, and the cache is a non-blocking cache, then we can always go with the bringing up with the next one. That is the answer for this. So there is a second question that is asked that P1, in the case of cache coherence, that P1 reads A and goes to a shared state. However, at the beginning, all the caches are empty. It means the read miss is not a shared miss. Some of the P2 or P3 does not have the location. Rather, it's an exclusive miss. Only P1 read the data and that should go to exclusive state. Yeah. So this is a clarification that I wanted to go. In the case of an MESI protocol, the very first processor that is going to give a read request will go to the exclusive state, and thereafter the subsequent readers only will come to the shared state. So this is the way in which this is going to be moving forward. So first user may not be in the shared, first user will be always there in the exclusive access mode. Then there are some questions which students asked pertaining to the role of MAR and MDR. So one question is specifically on after address decoding in processor memory interfacing slide, we selected one output of 2 power n. Was the selection of output based on input of address decoder? So they are asking what is the correlation between MAR and MDR. So MAR is the register which carries the address of the next memory location from which a memory access has to take place, be it a read or write. Whereas MDR is the register which will carry the data in case of a write operation, or it will get the data after a read operation. So MAR carries address and MDR carries the data. Now there are questions very specifically on what are the ways in which how can you prepare well for the exam. So as far as the final exam is concerned, this is the tips that I wanted to give. 50% of the exam questions would be more or less connected to the assignment questions. So for the assignments, the detailed solution is also given. So when you work with the assignments and you are aware of the detailed solution, then kindly practice it. Similar kind of questions that you will get. 20 to 30% of questions should be from single recall type. So you go through the slides, you understand the concept. We are trying to see whether you could recall the basic concepts or not. And 15 to 20% would be little open and challenging questions. So getting 60 to 70 marks is very much easy if you follow the assignments regularly and you are able to know the answers. So similar kind of a pattern that you can work. So spend regularly time on all the videos, go through it. There are tutorial sessions or problem solving sessions at the end of every week that will also be helpful. And with this, it would be much more comfortable position for all of you, those who are planning to appear for the exam. Exam is not that hard, so please go and write exam. Topper students would be given opportunity to work in our research group as interns in the upcoming summer. Okay, so we will have one more live session by the end of this month, by the end of October. At that time, we look forward for seeing you in large numbers. So since there are no more questions, I think we should wind up this session with that. And thank you all for joining.